Hello and good evening, and welcome to what should be the final episode of Batman Arkham Origins. And if it's not, well, then that's my bad judgment. Actually, and I did
It's my fault.
It's your fault. Okay, true. Setting up false expectations.
I promised that this would be the last session. I predict we're about an hour and a half from the end, and if I'm wrong, then everybody can laugh at me.
Yes. Everyone, let me know, especially if the volume settings are fine. I did do a little bit more adjustment for me and Shamus, but I'm also back in Streamlabs. It's the final episode of Arkham Origins, or is it really the start of Arkham Asylum? I don't think we're going to go through the whole series. That would be a little too much Batman. That would be a little too much Fatman. I don't know, maybe if we did do more, maybe I could try them on the harder difficulty, see how that works. But, okay, landing in Blackgate. So, last time, a whole lot of stuff happened. Let me see if I can remember all of it, because I was sick, which means I already forget half of what happened. But I do know...
You just shocked Alfred's heart back into working again, and Joker has escaped from Blackgate. So we've arrived at Blackgate to fix this prison break. He hasn't actually broken out of the prison. He's just taken it over and set it on fire, apparently.
Because what isn't set on fire in this game?
Right, everything's made of stone and covered in snow, so it's very flammable.
Don't punch the guy with a gun, no. Okay, at least I can knock out the guy with a gun. And, okay, that oh, I can't grab that one. Oh, wrong button. See, that right there was actually... Oh, son of a gun, really? Oh, my goodness, he's not targeting anyone that I want him to.
Okay, I know what to do here. Okay, Chris, when they hit you, it takes away your health points.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah, so you want to avoid that. Yeah, don't let them hit you. If you need any more help, just shout. I'm here with more tips.
What do I do when they punch me?
I swear at the screen.
Oh, that should work. Alright. Alright. Come on, toss your thing, toss your thing.
When you're stuck in the open like that, and there's nobody near you and you're waiting for a guy to toss a thing, throw a batarang at him.
Whoa! Okay, that wasn't actually what I tried to do at all, but it was advantageous.
You just throw a batarang, double tap the trigger, and that'll throw a batarang at the guy, and that.
Why are you trying to give me real advice now?
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to work. Oh, you're still alive. Okay. And now he's knocked
also,
out.
If you put baby powder inside of the bat suit, that'll keep it from sticking to you at the end of the night with all the sweat.
Okay, were they tied up or something? Because at the end of the fight, they were just standing there.
Right there, like...
Yes, sir. We're on it. Prison officer...
Okay, so
What is your ETA at Blackgate?
Oh, now we got this guy's all strung up and dead.
You
and
okay,
on fire.
buddy?
He's also on fire. Alright, where am I supposed to go now? Extinguisher.
I had this exact same problem. Where do you go? Where do you go? Let's see how long does it take you to find out where you're supposed to go. Yep, there it is.
Hold on,
this
you know what?
stupid game and its manhole covers. This is like the fourth manhole cover you've had to go into to get into a public building.
Well, part of the problem is also from over here. It's not standing out at all in detective vision.
Exactly. It doesn't get... It's highlighting that stupid explosive container, but not the main way to progress with the game.
It's probably an angle thing. It's a flat texture on that surface, so the way it angles doesn't get visible. Lino mentioned I think it was Lino mentioned liking the touch of the torn up and beat up batsuit. That is something that seems to... This has more bullet holes in it. Like perfectly round holes, I'm noticing. Actually, they are suspiciously perfectly round holes. I don't think bullet holes leave a hole that perfect, but
In City, it even has like story specific damage to your suit. At one point, Two-Face shoots you in the chest, and you have that particular damage on the suit, right in the chest area for the rest of the game. It's kind of a neat touch.
that is.
Attention to detail.
That's what you want in a game. Oh! I didn't expect to go that deep down. What's up here, then?
Oh, it's more stuff.
It is. Is it a treasure? Or is it just... Oh, by the way, if the connection is trash tonight, that's my fault. I won't go into details, but I did some poor planning, and yeah, it's my fault. So, apologies.
Strong electric current in the water. I should be careful.
This universe definitely needs to invent the fuse box. I tell you, I don't know what these guys have, the ongoing electrical shorts that don't trip breakers.
Well, it's that, and everything's always on fire, so I mean...
Right. Everything's always ice cold, soaked in water, made of stone, and somehow on fire.
So do I go up there? I guess I go up here. I'm not even... Is this a critical path? Because I went past it. Did I just skip an upgrade? Like, I'm now not even sure. And I think all of the explosive walls are made of cardboard, which is very different from the previous games, where an explosive wall was very much a wall that looked like it could be exploded.
No, yeah, cardboard meant you could punch through it. Or, yeah, plywood was punched through, and concrete was blow up, and they messed up that bit of the language of the game. I don't know if somebody decided they didn't want that clarity, or if they didn't catch on to that particular distinction.
I'm trying to... I feel like what Batman just did is more likely to make the electricity go haywire.
Right?
Because he didn't, like, flip a switch.
And that's a recycled animation from Arkham City. He used that to... Penguin had some jammers, and Batman did the same thing. Punches through a screen, reaches in up to his shoulder, and, like, I don't know, chokes the wires to death. It's a very unclear animation.
It's like, I could flip the switch, or I could punch it.
Punch the screen. It's like, why don't you... Can we try unplugging it, Batman? I guess he wants to make sure it doesn't work again, which, fair enough.
I mean, that is a possibility, but what if you break it and now you can't fix it? Ever. Possibly.
Right. Well, I always, like... It literally made me cringe because there's this sharp screen he's punched through, and the shards of glass are, like, poking him in the shoulder. They're clipping through his shoulder. And it makes me like, oh, watch out, you're going to slash yourself open, Batman. But, of course, that's, you know...
That's not how it works.
That's not how that works, but still. That's what I would do if I was there. I'd be afraid of slashing myself on this screen. I'm like, I'll just throw in some explosive gel and back away.
So, he said something about power to the generator, and I just pressed the button.
Yep. Okay, here, I got stuck here too. Okay, see that button, and then look across the way. Now press the button.
Oh!
Yep.
Now here's the real question. That didn't charge. Okay. Alright, let's try this again.
And it's to your left after you go through that window.
Oh, right there. Okay. I was going to say, is it through the crack in the hole in the wall or something like that?
You have to catch it and shock yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's a comedy bit.
But no,
I like how electricity sticks to it, like it's this...
See, I saw that hole there and was like, do I have to put it through there or something?
Yep.
No.
Yep. Because you wonder, if not, then why is that hole there? I wondered the same thing.
Because there's no way...
That hole must have a reason for existing. I probably have to get a batarang through... No,
because clearly you got to blow up this cardboard. plywood, whatever you want to call it. And that's how you get up here. So this has no purpose. Other than to, I guess, maybe try and indicate that's where you go next. But
right, maybe it's just to show you, look, there's some game behind this wall, so that's where you're trying to go.
I also wonder how much of this game was like set pieces that they started to wrap a story around. Like just in wondering. Like, did they
That's
already?
That's an interesting question.
Oh. Oof. Uh-oh.
That's true. Made up and for me, he has Bat Glove, and they have no use in any puzzles. They are used in to open doors, but it's not a puzzle. It's just.
Uh-oh! I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Do I have a? I don't have anything I can. Whee! So it's a glue bomb everything and try and figure out what you can. Yeah. Ah. All right. Let's see if we can. First, I gotta duck down. Is there anything that I'm missing here? Did I? Oh, I didn't get that one. I guess. Oh, I just gotta blow it all up. Okay.
Yeah.
Just back to steam up until. Alright, so I was close. I almost had it. And just go through this door, I suppose.
We're almost there. I can taste the fresh air.
Ooh, it was a double knockdown. Nice. Like, oh. Ah. And bam. And there you are. Up. I love how wildly the camera swings around, but at least I have the chance to knock these guys out. Okay.
Yeah, here's the shock gloves being used in air quotes puzzle. Hold the A and to open a door, and that's it.
I feel like in a Metroid, these kinds of locks make more sense because
yeah,
you can explore the world and find them, but you can't get to Blackgate Prison otherwise.
Okay, here, Joker's telling his men very distinctly, do not kill the Batman.
And next thing you know, they're going to try and kill me.
The very next, I mean, like, the line of dialogue is right next to it. As soon as you go... Now, this line of dialogue, two lines of dialogue next to each other, back to back.
Yeah, the dude's got guns. Wrong thing to hop up to. Whee!
I did this like 7 times trying to ace it. Like trying to do it without getting spotted at all to completely ghost it. And I couldn't do it. It's that's the guy you want. The sniper at the top is the guy that really locks you down in this room. This is the sniper. He's just the worst. I did this several times, and I mean, it's not hard to get everybody, but it is really hard to never get spotted.
Yeah, I already got spotted, so...
Yeah, right, just because it is so dense with guys. This is definitely the densest encounter in the entire game.
So he's hopping down. Oh, he was the guy I was gonna try and target. Do we have any explosives I can use? So it looks like someone was dropping mines. So that's something to keep in mind. You guys are way too close together.
Right? It's so hard to get to isolate somebody because they can always see each other.
All right. Depending on where he goes. Oh, there's the mine guy, but I think I can. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Please don't. Please have awful peripheral vision.
This isn't the way it's supposed to go down.
There, silent takedown. Jeez.
Nice. There you go.
I gotta be quick though.
Was the best place to find capable killers. Guess I was wrong.
That's the mine guy, so I gotta be careful of his mines.
It really bothers me that Joker's like, I want the Batman alive, and then spends the next 5 minutes telling his guys to kill you. I don't I like the thing they did in the later Arkham games where Joker knows you're going to take his guys out.
So he's just mocking them the whole time, yeah.
Right, and he's kind of egging Batman on, saying, hey, maybe you know, you're in a hurry, I've got bombs or whatever. Maybe it's worth it to kill one of these guys. I think that's a much better way to handle this than to have Batman just, like, change motivations on a dime like that. I mean, he's the Joker, so he doesn't need to make sense, but it's better if he's got some kind of consistent motivation.
Alright. I'm trying to also... This is going to be one that's probably not as very creative, because...
Right, right, just hang them all up.
Why are you just hanging there? I think there's a limit to how many you can hang up, though. However,
yeah, you do have like a limited ammo or whatever on that gun.
And they're all gathered in that one spot. Like, they are all together in line of sight.
Right? Look at that. Come on, guys. Spread out. Come on, go off in corners. This is a horror movie. We should split up into the dark separately and get picked off one by one.
And, okay, you're alone, but you're on the same level as the guy over there. But I don't want to drop attack, but I do want to...
Yeah, just drop down quietly and...
Uh-oh, guys. Okay.
He's still out there. I know.
Exactly how you want it.
I like how nobody notices. They're just like, oh, he probably forgot what he was saying.
Oh, he was just using his thing.
Terminus terminal. I guess he knocks the guy out by shoving his face into his armpit until he passes out. That's all.
Basically,
that's all
yeah.
That's
you
all.
Choke
Chris
him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where's the last guy with goggles? There he is, right there. And why can I can.
A fun trick is when you knock somebody out silently, drop some gel on their body, and then zip away. And then when they discover the body, they all gather around them, and you set it off.
Oh, that is a good idea.
It's a fun prank. It doesn't usually knock somebody out, but it's hilarious.
I'm waiting for this guy so I can do an inverted takedown.
Oh, Terminus Terminal, you're right. Yeah, the guys just sort of like hang upside down, and then I guess they just get bored and go to sleep.
You didn't check the...
There's no explanation for why they're knocked out.
Oh, wow. He just started shooting wildly. Alright, that's... Oh, he's almost on the mine. But yeah, it's just... Oh, crap, really?
What are you doing up on the railing, you goofus?
Great.
Yeah, you might need to hit him with a batarang. That might actually knock him out if you knock him off the railing and onto the floor.
Oh, I can't do that? You're right, I might need to. Woof. And everyone's like, what was that? Did I just... Oh, that actually knocked him out completely. Nice. Alright, there's 2 of you left.
Also, in the other game, the disruptor can set off mines, and so when a guy walks by it, you can use it to blow up the mine and knock him out.
That's what I was wondering, if something like that...
But that's not... It's the disruptor in this game's a little different, so I don't know if it would work.
Yeah, it didn't seem to do nothing. I was gonna say... Oh, I just disabled his gun. Oh, great. Come on, knock him out and then get out of there. Whee! though he's now the last one left, so I can just glide kick him.
Over this way.
Bee!
Oh, instant KO.
He just flew over the ledge,
his-
so he just
and
instantly
lands
knocked
on his
down.
neck. So yeah, he definitely
He's definitely
asleep.
alive. He's definitely
Yeah,
alive.
totally not dead.
Totally not dead. All right.
Totally not paralyzed from the neck
No,
down.
Terminus Terminal. He's alive. It's totally not dead.
Obviously, Terminus Terminal.
Exactly.
You've never heard that Batman doesn't kill people. So therefore, that guy is fully alive.
Guys, perfectly fine. Completely forgot that mine was there.
Oh, CD Rex. Yeah, Batman doesn't kill, but gravity does. That's it. That's an interesting loophole.
That sounds like a tagline. It's like, I don't kill, but gravity does. What? No! Ah! Like, it feels like that kind of a thing.
You were almost killed.
Sort of rebrands himself as dropping people off of buildings, man.
Look, I know why you're here. He's in the Panopticon, and he's waiting for you.
I was so hoping that that was the last we got to see of Joker and Harley Quinn. You can tell it's been a while since I played this. Because I'm sitting here like, oh, that feels like a good time for them to make their exit. Wait, she just
Right.
motioned over here, right?
Yeah, you were going no, right turn. There you go. That
Oh,
hole.
so it is downstairs. Like that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, it says Panopticon above the door.
Does it?
That's where we're headed.
It
Well, it says Madhouse.
says Nut Madhouse, Insane Asylum. It says everything to drag your attention, but they couldn't even make it in white text on a gray background. No, it's gray text on a gray background. Gee, I wonder why I didn't understand where the Panopticon was.
So are these piss-stained mattresses? Did Joker put these up, or is this just what the place looks like?
Let's move on.
Is he good guys pissing on mattresses all night
Oh
just
my
to
gosh,
make
they're
this
everywhere, yeah.
decor? Like, keep drinking, boys. You got a lot of mattresses to piss on.
Maybe some of it's vomit. Not that that's any better. I mean, man, why you got me thinking about this stuff? Why are you looking that closely at the level when I'm fighting? Hey, look, it's just another thing that's on fire. Everything is on fire. I'm fine ignoring everything because it's on fire now. Why you gotta make me look at the stains on the mattresses? That's, Is this where the game began, by the way? Is that one of those things we're doing?
Yeah, this, I mean, I don't know
Right.
if this exact hallway, but yeah, we did begin at Blackgate.
Because I feel like this isn't the chamber where the one guy died. The, commissioner? Sanitarium is a
Loeb.
Metallica song. Sorry. So in the list of Joker's bad boss traits, we're going to have to add that too, huh? Ah! Ooh. There goes your shield. Up! See, you got
That
up
was a
immediately.
perfect illustration. You zoomed in on a guy, you leapt across the room at him, and when you got there, a shield guy was already hitting you.
Not just that, there was
just
another
no way
dude
to avoid that.
The other dude got up and then immediately, I mean immediately, was like right on me. And then I just lost my thing because both guys were knocked down. But no, like the one dude, he got up and no time at all was already attacking. It's like
Right.
the timing on some of this stuff is just weird. And that's
Yeah,
the
you
thing, like
can't-
sorry,
It's not bad, it's just inconsistent. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine if they get up quickly, if they always get up quickly, but sometimes they stay down and sometimes they bounce right back up.
like the term I don't want to use is predictable. You don't want predictable to be how a game is. Maybe readable is the better way to put it.
Yeah.
You want to be able to read, okay, this is the attack that they're charging up and preparing. This is the attack they're doing. And if someone's like in the getting up animation, you don't expect them to then just immediately lunge into an attack, even though they're right there. That's the thing. Other times, guys will be right next to you and not
Apparently
attack.
the Joker's afraid of me. Wouldn't let me out.
His fists are
For
huge.
good reason.
Right.
I don't like
And he's just doing push-ups for no reason,
You should have known
just to show us how badass he is.
Just to show us how
Get outta
mighty and
here.
powerful and strong, because he's
You won't
Deathstroke.
have to worry about that anymore. Not unless someone else puts up 50 million bucks.
I wasn't worried.
And I guess that's just there for
That's
the Deathstroke fans. That's it. You fought him very early in the game. It wasn't that interesting of a fight, and now he's just looking cool because he's doing push-ups.
Personally, if I was him, I would be saving my strength, trying to figure out how to get out of the cell. Like, why did nobody let you out there, Deathstroke? It seems like that should have been somebody's first decision.
The camera automatically looked towards the wall, by the way, so that was interesting. Hi. See, and that I managed to actually counter that. Hey. Bust you guys up, bust you. Bust you. You ain't gonna use that anytime soon. Oh, I had a counter and then another counter? What the heck?
Oh
What
yeah, some
the
of these
heck?
guys, that confused the heck out of me. Some of these guys are ninjas, but you can't tell because they're just in orange jumpsuits now.
Yeah. I thought some...
It took me a while to figure that out. I thought I was hitting the wrong button, but you can kind of see they've like got
They got like
leg
guards
warmers
and
on or
stuff,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Gloves and guards and bandanas, but it's like...
that's hard to read in this crowd.
Oh! May as well activate the shock gloves. Hey! I hit the counter button. Instant knockout. Oh! And I just had a whatchamacallit too. See, I didn't even hit the counter button there. I just hit the attack button and it
Right,
worked.
right. The shock the shock gloves are like, yeah, you don't need to learn to play this game anymore. You just button mash your way to victory.
Well, I hit the counter button when he was doing that spin kick and nothing happened. This is again like... Oh, that was just a regular stupid shield. Alright.
Made up, and for me, it is true. Like, Batman is super smug in this one, but it's not clear. He's not the super ace, always prepared for anything guy that we knew in like Arkham Asylum. He like fumbles his
Why
way
is there
through
a
this
Bane
entire
guy here?
night, and then acts smug anyway.
I'm gonna take my time with you.
Oh. You stupid... There we go. Get the instant knockout. Or a counterattack, even though I was still in the animation? Well,
When he goes to grab you, jumping over him is often the best move.
He's just a little guy.
alright.
This is gonna hurt.
Come on.
Go on.
Oh, that was a bad move. There we go.
I'm gonna take my time with you.
Alright, knock this guy out, I guess. Finally. Ugh. All things considered, considering the sheer number of people and that the ninjas blended right
yeah.
in, that wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. Hey, fun note, you can get a D grade in this game.
Really?
Yeah, I managed to get one my last play session. You can only get them in a Predator encounter. No matter how bad you do, if you live through a combat encounter like that one, you get C at least. But a
Really?
Predator encounter, if you really suck, it will give you a D.
Well, that's fascinating.
It is interesting that they wouldn't give you a D for the combat encounters, but they will for Predator encounters.
I think the toilet paper is supposed to be what's on fire. Yeah, that is
I haven't
fascinating.
burned that much toilet paper, but I would think it would not last that long.
Nope. And there's nothing down this hallway. See, I missed out on a lot of the comments. Would have made it. Oh, you've already been keeping up. Thank you. And we got minor characterization note. Batman in this one is undeservedly. Yes, he is. Because he's young and conceited. Because the young are always conceited. And Batman's no different, even though that's why. That's what makes him Batman, right? We got more. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this fight's a handful. Ninjas and Bane guys and a giant. And the knife guy's a nice bonus though, because you can knife guys, once you unlock the ability to auto KO them, it's like, oh good, at least some of these guys have knives.
Oh, are you kidding me? Why does this guy have a gun in this fight when we've already got... Nope. And of course that happened. Alright. At least I don't have, like, the lowest of health. Where am I?
I think Joker's is the one holding the camera in this fight.
Yeah. Oh. Good. Shot gloves. But first... Oh, nope. Okay, you're actually... You know what? Screw it. Oh, good. Just as soon as I... Oh my goodness.
Yeah, little FYI, another pro tip from an expert gamer. Those bullets hurt, and you don't want him to shoot you with them.
I don't know what happened. I'm glad I could get knocked out of that. Whoop. Alright, I can at least knock you out, Bane guy. And you're attacking nobody. Thanks, Batman.
And you did it.
That's, again, part of it is also just the targeting. The targeting of enemy. Like, there are so many times I'm pressing the stick a specific direction, and Batman goes for someone completely far. Like, not even in the closest person in the direction I'm pressing, right? It's like someone like 3 people away.
And the question that I have every time is that deliberate? Is that a change that somebody made on purpose when they made this game? Because it worked much better in City. Did they change it on purpose, or is that an accident? And I can't figure it out.
So I do have to love some of the comments here. Okay, wait, these are way too many mattresses even for a public prison. And some appear to be stapled to the walls. Now open, Blackgate Prison and Mattress Emporium.
Chance to let me die if you didn't take it. I bet right now you're wishing you had. I've killed a lot of people. I brought the city to its knees.
You brought the city to it? No, you didn't. You did not bring the city to its knees.
They're already at home.
Yeah.
It's like there's a snowstorm outside.
Maybe he's talking about when he had bombs in the buildings, but like the city was fine.
Our friend Bane holds in his hand is a heart monitor. Once he clamps it on, every beat of his bacon little heart will charge the battery on this electric chair. And when it's
Joker's making a lot of assumptions here.
So either you kill Bane.
No. Won't kill him.
But you will. You will fight me with all your resolve, or you will die. Someone is going to die. You, me, or the clown. The question of which one of us it is in your hands.
Here's the thing, like, if the police chase down a criminal and the criminal gets in a car crash, the police will pull that criminal out of the car so they can put him in jail. They'll send him to the hospital and save his life. And Joker seems to know that you're against. It's totally possible, from Joker's point of view, that Batman would be like, well, all right, then I'll just let Joker die. I mean, in a moral sense, you could totally argue that Joker's just committing suicide.
I feel like Bane is the kind of person that would be like, I have no respect for you. So, like, yeah, he would just let... Oh.
Oh yeah, remember that terrible Bane fight from earlier in the game? Yeah, now we get to do the exact same fight again.
With Mooks.
The other one had Mooks too, so this is just really a rerun.
Oh wait, am I supposed to do that? No, that's just... Oh, we gotta reference that. We gotta reference that very, very popular...
Don't move.
Maybe you should move.
Oh, it turns out Gordon's...
See, Gordon knows what's up. Gordon's not afraid to shoot it too.
Oh, good lord. Careful, Jim. When that chair goes off, that's 2,000 volts. You won't make it.
You don't need to.
At least the fight is very... Where the heck did he get his military training?
Jim, have a seat, Jimbo. We'll fry together like two little potato latkes.
I got a pulse. I'm gonna jumpstart your heart. Kill you again.
Really?
May you find the peace in death that you did not find in life.
That's his idea.
Peace.
And he's grabbing a rubber boot. Or metal and rubber? I don't know what that boot's made out of now that I think about it.
I like the people in the comments. Just break Bane's monitor. It's a hunk of plastic.
Oh gosh.
That would be the way to do it. But no, Batman has a much stupider plan in mind.
And yay! I was able to build up without having to rely on the stupid... Oh! Okay, please let me control things. Oh! Yeah! He's still charging. Why is he still charging?
I think he's waiting for somebody to put yakety sax on.
Oh, come on! No, why did you dodge the wrong way? Why are you getting punched by people all the time? Why are you such a bad Batman? Alright, now I can start suck. Oh, I didn't see that jump coming for some reason. Oh, thank goodness. That was basically just panicked, not even intelligent, just please God, let him combo build. And you're right, why not just... So does he kill him and then bring him back like he did with Alfred? Is that the whole...
Yeah. Yep, that's the plan.
Why is he such a bad Batman?
Over, Joker. Let Captain Gordon go. Yeah. Put the gun down, freak.
How about I put you down?
I'm sorry, that was such a silly looking leap.
Oh, that needed a Wilhelm scream to go with it.
Either a Wilhelm scream or just, I don't know. I don't know, just so... I don't know. I wish I could think of a clever little phrase or something, but...
Thank God you had your vest on.
For a minute, I thought somehow they'd kill a character before he appears in the games that take place after this.
Joseph, I need your help to stop the Joker.
Our help? You're the so-called vigilante.
Or is one kill enough for you tonight? Bane's in cardiopulmonary arrest. I have only minutes to resuscitate him before it's too late.
Isn't this the part where Gordon's daughter should now be doing something?
You know, you would think, but no, she doesn't come back. Well, and maybe she comes back, like, in voiceover or something, but she doesn't reappear in the story.
Oh, I'm glad I get to do this as gameplay.
Clear!
Oh, there we go. That's all I needed to do was punch him. Not even where his heart is. Oh, he's back. Back again. And now he's just a monster. What's also I don't know what Bane looks like without his mask, but this is like the most boring look they could have given him.
Also,
oh god,
I'm not really a huge Bane fan, but a lot of people are, and I've heard people talk about how he's this cunning strategist, and I get the impression they're really irritated with how the game's turned Bane into
not that
the Hulk, the evil Hulk.
Basically, yeah. Would Bane agree to this Harmonitor plan again? It seems reckless. Not just reckless, but pointless and stupid. Because again, like,
right,
it's
on
Shamus' side. With Bane, I don't think is the kind of guy that likes the Joker, and Arkham Asylum kind of establishes this, as does
The compound I found in Bane's lab.
I don't remember what I got to do here.
In 10 minutes, the TN1 he just injected will reach its full potency, and he'll take you out in one hit.
So basically, it's going to be a one-hit kill.
I guess there's no timer on this fight, so that doesn't even mean anything. It's just like they're trying to up the stakes even more, and it just makes the fight more ridiculous. He'll kill you in one hit, and I'm like, how much stronger can he get? If his muscles get any bigger, he won't be able to move.
I'm also trying to remember what it is, because this is basically like Mr. Freeze, where you got to stealth him several times, right?
No, Mr. Freeze fight required you to use all your stealth abilities to vary it up. Bane requires you to do the same thing over and over again.
So basically, I could do what I just did over and over again.
Yeah, well, then now you got to jump on him and drive him into the...
Oh.
Alfred's right. I can't take Bane.
Oh. Well, I don't know what just happened there.
The
Partially
camera.
because it was just telling me to use a glue grenade. Alright. That was pointless. What do I got to do again?
You got to get in behind him. You jump on his back, and then you sort of ride him. This is not a joke. You drive him into the electrified walls and shock him. You do that several times, and
oh shoot.
Yeah, so just get in behind him.
Alright. Alright, so he's gone away.
They're trying to kill each other.
You must fight.
And over there? Okay.
Yeah. Now you beat on him.
Oh.
The freeze fight is one of the best boss fights ever because it requires you to use a big variety of tricks. And this one, like every other boss fight in the game, is you do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I think the Joker's heading to death row. You got the place surrounded. No way he can get out. You better be damn sure about that.
Oh.
Oh, yep.
Well, guess what? Whee! This one's kind of... Oh, it's not a dead end. He just gave me the silent takedown. There we go. Oh, he was looking at me. Okay. But now you said I gotta get behind him, or...
Right.
Oh, nope. He's gonna break me there. So that front takedown is pointless.
Right, yeah.
What
front
the
takedown
heck?
does nothing.
Why did it suddenly change cameras on me?
Because it's more cinematic if you can't see where the heck you're going.
And he's all the way down there. So we lost track of me anyway. See, I guess this is the only thing he does. It updates it by he starts checking the grates, but...
Oh, these boss fights are so disappointing in this game. They're so bad. They're so... I mean, the boss fights have never been a strength of the series because Batman and his villains do not lend themselves to big battles. but wow, even by those low standards, the boss fights in this game are pretty wretched.
Okay, see, that's the thing. He's turned around there. Alright.
Now you wait for him to... Yep. Stupid! He'll magically become undefeatable.
Are you kidding me? Nope. Oh, I was trying to, like, batarang him, but Batman wasn't doing nothing. Alright, there's just a whole bunch of, missed that way. And he's still coming. What am I... What the heck? Awful, awful... Oh boy. And it, oh! And you can't jump over him either.
Yeah, you gotta you have to glue him and then dive for a vent.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, like everything else in the game, there's one solution to the problem. Don't use any of your 400 gadgets. You do the one thing the game tells you to do.
But this is what stinks, because I'm sitting here waiting for him to turn his back. Like, but then evidently he's just...
And really, I think the proper way to program this is if you're sneaking up on Bane, the AI should deliberately not suddenly turn around just because that ruins it.
Oh, you can't even go in through there.
Yeah. Like, if you're that close to him, the AI should deliberately not turn around. Just because you can't control that.
That's the thing. It makes me wonder if I'm being too noisy as well. Like, he's checking a different grape, but he's facing which way?
There you go.
See, now... There we go. Can I use the same one? I can. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I used last time.
No, they get exhausted.
Okay, so it's not the same one I used.
It's not the
same. Oh, come
one.
on. He's got like a third of his health left now. There.
Sir, it appears the jamming mechanism has been activated. It would be wise to deactivate it immediately.
Are you kidding me?
This is Captain James Gordon in Blackgate Prison. The Joker has us pinned down in death row. Requesting reinforcements. Repeat, this is Captain Gordon requesting reinforcements.
I've never gotten that message. How bad are you losing out there, Gordon?
Gordon pinned down in death row. I need to hurry.
Where are the freaking guards?
Not that I can go anywhere here. Where's the stupid that I gotta disrupt? Get rid of, where is it? Is that what I gotta use the disruptor? I can't remember. Oh boy. That's what.
Here it comes.
Thanks, camera! Thanks so much!
Right? You had the camera aimed the way you needed to, and then it twisted the camera around, aimed it at the wall, and then you got hit.
And the weird thing is, I know I hit the thing with the disruptor. Alright, I saw his shadow, I just don't know if it went that way or the other way. Alright, he's down that way. So I'm going to try and disrupt this thing again?
Yeah, it's like there's another disruptor. I've never had this happen before.
No, it's just... That's a concussion. And I can't even use it anyway. It's not letting me disable it. Oh, shoot. You've already said that.
It doesn't show a timer. Is there really a timer on this fight? That would really be something.
I know my disruptor's got a cooldown going. Oh, thank goodness. Are you kidding me? Was that good enough? He's got one sliver of health left. Please tell me that's good enough.
You win.
Nope. There it is, the surprise.
Because I know you beat him and you're like, oh, but I didn't get to do a quick time event. The fight's just not over if I don't get to do a quick time event. Well, first I have to get...
Evidently, I gotta get beat the crap out of first. Okay, Batman's... his back was already broken. Now, his ribs are broken too. I don't know why that's got electrical current going through it, but okay. We don't have any upgrade that does that. I can't... Got you the Crash
It's too bad you don't have
Bandicoot
the electrical equipment on your suit. That would have been really handy, if that's what it takes to stop him.
Cedar X, you got a point. I did not play enough Crash Bandicoot as a kid. That's the problem. If I played more of Crash Bandicoot, I would have gotten through that fight a lot better.
So that was an atrocity. That was just terrible game design.
No, it really was. Goodness. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about that Bane fight? That's all yours, man. On your blog.
That's it. Well, I basically whined about it the whole time during it, so I have nothing left to say. That was just hugely disappointing, repetitive, dumb, contrived, and that camera was awful.
Camera's terrible.
Anyway, this is the plot point. When he juiced himself with all that stuff, he damaged his brain, so now he doesn't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Boy, I guess it's good he never wrote that down.
Yeah. I know you blew up everything that had the evidence. Remember? So it's all fine.
And he never told any of his cohort. I mean, he has a lot of dudes. I guess he never told any of them either.
Just check and make sure. Yep, there's nothing else here. Whee! Look at the perfect cuts in that cape. Oh, Deathstroke. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's not Deadshot.
No, it's just some mook.
Help me keep these guys off the warden.
What, really? That's what we're doing?
Yep, you're doing great. I've never had the guts to do it, but I've always wanted to stand back and see how Gordon does against these dudes.
I don't even know if he's got a health bar.
Right, exactly. Like, what happens is, does he just sit there? I think they would just swarm you anyway. But, like,
probably.
Does he make any progress? Does he ever knock any of them out?
Come on, get an instant. Ah. See, I just want to highlight there were two examples of hitting the counter button. There where well, not hitting the counter button, but... Who had a rough childhood? Is that what Gordon just said?
Oh, is that... Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
How he's justifying beating these guys up?
He's just hitting that guy in the shield over and over again.
They're on their way.
I mean, in one... He sort of kept the guy occupied.
He kept one guy slightly busy for part of the fight, so... Good on you, Gordon.
Oh, now I got a D. I just got a D.
Did you? I missed it.
Oh yeah, we missed it, but we know we got it around the hour mark. On the hour mark of the video.
They gave you a D for that one?
Yep.
Like, you had some rough fights earlier in the game, and it never gave you a D for any of those.
I don't think I even ever hit a 5 for the whatchamacallit, though.
Oh, maybe it grades you on how much of a combo. Yeah, and you never got it very high.
Nope. What the heck is... Oh, it is the Joker. Okay. I was going to say, what am I looking at? I played too much Bloodborne. You walk into a chapel and you just see a figure just there, and it's like, what monstrosity am I about to fight?
We did not do Lady Shiva. I don't even remember her.
Were most of these guys like Deadshot side quests then? Because we didn't do a Lady Sheep. We didn't do any of the optional stuff.
Now that's not funny.
Actually, that is.
This rage.
I should probably just... I mean, he had plenty more subtitle there. Oof.
You just can't get it through your thick skull. We both exist because of them.
Give up.
What?
Right? Like, all of a sudden, they have this big, meaningful relationship. This isn't their first encounter. This is like, they've been at it for 20 years.
This is really trying to do your own killing. This is why it all frustrated me. Because I'm sitting here, it's like we already have Batman Year One, we already have Long Halloween, we have the Killing Joke, and this is drawing from that stuff, but then it's like, but you're not doing it better, you're doing it worse. I understand taking influence, or like doing it differently, like The Dark Knight. What did The Dark Knight do? Take influence from the Long Halloween and some other stuff. And it did it well! Bam. They won't, he's got gloves on.
You know there's only one way to stop me.
I mean, okay, to be frank, if Batman... What? That's like some Scarecrow crap. Like...
Right?
Any one of my guys would have killed him.
The city deserves better than that.
You know, my daughter...
How can you like this and be a Batman fan?
But I still have to bring you in.
Like, how can you like Batman?
We got the Joker.
Like, come on, Gordon. Come on, Gordon. You were pointing your gun at him, and you were looking about 12 degrees to the left.
And then you just lose track of him. How's it going, Retro Collector Tommy?
Keep asking myself.
Gotham series? I
Bring
mean,
him in.
me and Shamus both like the...
Now
wait,
know
what?
The truth is,
Arkham. Oh, are we talking about... I've never seen the Gotham show.
Because you believe in him.
Is that what he's talking about, the show?
They put me in charge of a station full of rotten cops. And I can't change
That man has the
that.
ability to teleport under the
Any more
specific
than I can
condition that
change
Gordon
them.
has just stopped looking at him.
Right?
Or at least, that's what I used to think.
And now it's going to be the big, meaningful narration of Gordon. And if I recall, the Arkham Asylum didn't exist yet, right? In this game.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of weird because, like, Arkham Asylum, when we in the other game, it feels like it's, you know, 80 years old.
Maybe I can give
Feels like it's this ancient building.
You're right.
Can give them something to believe in.
It does, because it wasn't even... Because that's the ghost of Amadeus Arkham, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, spoilers, I guess, in case you haven't played Arkham Asylum, but... That's...
Oh,
yeah.
and Bruce pays to retrofit it at some point. I'd forgotten that.
Oh.
Batman created by Bill Finger and partly Bob Kane.
I actually do like this little rendition of Carol of the Bells. And it's a shame that this is like the one part they use it in the game is like, okay, game's over. So, that was, and yeah, that was the end of it, was when you get to Blackgate. So, yeah, you were right, about an hour left. We finished up. Now was, of course, time for closing thoughts, that kind of a thing. And to be frank, going back, I feel like parts of me would have been more frustrated if I tried to do the additional content. Like they'd gone back to get stuff at the Penguin's area, because I think you can even do more with the Penguin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
There's that whole. There were things that were locked off until you got Metroidvania tools for later, and we didn't do that.
yeah, and we got music from the Joker now. Troy Baker doing well though.
Troy Baker did a commendable job with the hard character. I can't take anything away from him.
He did a very good job of doing what Mark Hamill does, which in some ways is kind of a shame because basically, I mean, you take something that's almost impossible, right? It's like how many fans for them, Mark Hamill is the Joker, and then you come in and you deliver it. Like, I wonder if you took someone that did not know they were different voice actors and had them watch the cutscenes and everything, how many of them would think it's the same voice actor? Because he does really good here. He does really well.
I would also say that the guy who does Batman's voice, I don't like how he was written, but he has a good voice for the part.
He does.
I mean, the writer made him too shouty and growly and stompy and thuggish. But yeah, if oh my goodness, who's the main Batman voice?
Oh crap! Now that you're asking me, it's going to blink from my memory. Because I've talked to him before. Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. If Kevin Conroy wanted to step away from the role, I'd be fine with this guy taking it over.
I would too.
I would just, hope the writers would domesticate Batman a little. At least get him housebroken.
Give him some, because the one thing that Kevin Conroy brought to it was when he was Bruce Wayne, he was a charismatic fellow. He wasn't like. Because that's the thing, like, Christian Bale did fine, but I don't think none of the Hollywood Batmans feel right.
No.
None of the Hollywood Batmans feel right. Kevin Conroy is, like, no wonder that he was such a iconic one, but this guy's voice, I like it. Like, he could probably do charismatic Bruce Wayne, Playboy. He could probably do, more measured Batman, and he does do the more threatening, like, swear to me voice and stuff like that. Like, I laugh about it sometimes, like, as, both when we did our podcast and when we were playing here, his whole, like, black mask, put a bounty on my head. Like, I love over-dramatizing it because it's hilarious. It is that kind of, over-the-top stuff. And, we got Jack Ryder here. Which is funny, too, that they have Jack Ryder as a focus and not... Actually, yeah, Jack Ryder
Vicky
was
Vale?
Yeah. Jack Ryder was in 2 of these, but he becomes an actual villain himself, doesn't he?
He is kind of like... I don't know if he's a villain, but he's a jerk.
Well, there is that.
He's a jerk in the beginning of City. I remember he's kind of a real dick to Bruce Wayne at one point.
But I feel like in Arkham Asylum, at least, there's like a bio for him that comments on that kind of thing. Or, I don't know, I'd have to look it up somewhere. I do feel like there is something like that. And no, I'm sorry, Michael Keaton is not the best Batman ever.
I do like how he played the part, but he is too slight of frame and way too short.
Well, it's not even just that. Part of that might also be because of the way the role is written, as you said. And Jack Ryder in the comics becomes the creeper. Not a villain, but he's kind of insane and causes a lot of trouble. Okay. So it was somewhat accurate. But no, and I do love watching the Tim Burton Batman, but it's not really a good Batman film. It is a good Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
Because it's not about Batman.
So this game was just way too overstuffed for me. Yeah. I think they should have taken half the plots, thrown them out, and taken the other half and expanded them into stories. Because this was like Night of the Cameos.
Even here right now. Yeah. Now we have to explain the origin of Arkham Asylum.
Right, we're just trying to speed through. They're trying to speed through the entire 20-year history of Batman in one night, so that in this one game we're gonna bring him all the way to the threshold of Arkham Asylum. Yeah. Explain how everything happened in this one night, and it's just too much, and nothing gets time to breathe or develop. Nobody has an arc. It's just everybody gets a cameo.
I wonder, actually, Oh my goodness. I wonder if they actually had plans for throwing Robin in there, but had to scrap him or something like that. Because it's like, that's like the one thing they're missing is Robin. But no, to back up though, like the Tim Burton Batman film. I mean, the thing is, it's not really about Batman. It's about the Joker, and as a result, Batman himself is mostly an uninteresting character. He's really got nothing going on for him in the film, except for the one scene where he's just like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts," and that's just Michael Keaton being great. But is that really Bruce Wayne? Is that really Batman? I don't know. But no, you have great lines and stuff in that movie. So
yeah, I agree, but I would not have said that in the past. Like when I was a teenager, the original Tim Burton Batman came out when I was 17 years old, and there's no way you could say anything bad about it. I was like the only person in the world that thought this doesn't feel like Batman. This feels weird. Everybody else thought it was the greatest movie ever.
I have no doubt. It's probably like going back to like Spider-Man, the film. I actually think, yes, I do have my article. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is a Spider-Man film by Sam Raimi. Which is basically like, it's not a bad film, but it's like, is this really a good Spider-Man film? And the answer is yes and no. But it's very much a Sam Raimi film, first and foremost. And that's the same thing with Tim Burton's Batman, but at the time, this was, of course, pre-Marvel, pre-Iron Man, pre-all kinds of stuff being more accurate to their books. Oh, it's the development team. Most of them probably don't even work in the industry anymore. They've been so burned out on it.
Right, but like that, okay, that's a big team. Here's something I've wondered. Like I just said, this game was overstuffed. Did WB Games demand all of this stuff in one game? Or did those folks decide, oh boy, we get to make the best Batman game ever. Let's do everything. And like, was this mandated or did they do it to themselves? I'm very frustrated. Yeah, I'm very frustrated with this game.
And the problem is, it's like when we talked about Arkham City and stuff, right? Where I remember looking up interviews wherever I could, especially because I wanted to figure out what was up with Paul Dini. Like, was he still involved? Why wasn't he not involved in Arkham Knight?
Right.
And there's only, like, all the interviews they find are basically old. Because now that this is not a new game, nobody's talking about it. Nobody wants to investigate it. Nobody wants to do any kind of articles on it.
Right.
And unfortunately, like, that's where... it's like if I play a game, if I had the kind of following, I'd be like, you know what? Let's look up the credits. Let's see who we can reach out to that worked on this game. Let's see if we can get, to ask some questions, get an interview going, get, information on the development of this game and what was up with it. But, even all the websites that were all about saving games journalism aren't willing to do that because it doesn't get clicks and it doesn't make money. Like, I think Polygon was one of the few last holdouts where you could get big features and stuff. Like, the development of Homefront. They had a really good making of the game Homefront, and they don't even... I don't even know if they do stuff like that anymore. The closest you get is basically Jason Schreier's reporting, and it's always basically about, okay, what company is scum now?
Who's putting employees into a blender this year?
It's like, oh man, at some point, I'm still waiting for him to come and disappoint me with something about Nintendo. It's like, it's going to happen. It's like, please, I don't want it to happen, but something's going to happen. But now this one though, again, like I think not doing the extra stuff helped because the greatest hint that we were actually nearly done and sooner than I expected. It's funny, Rocksteady Studios are included in this as well.
Weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They certainly made the combat system. Most of this code is theirs.
But then it's like saying game director Sefton Hill when he was busy with Arkham Knight. So they probably had oversight, but this is... I mean, yeah.
Right.
We'll see how many Rocksteady credits it ends up being. But no, to... dial back somewhat after I interrupted myself, and now to try and remember what I interrupted myself on. I love it when that happens. brain melt. You talk. I'll try and remember what I was saying.
All right. Well, I will do the next week. We're gonna have a poll on my blog where we ask people what they think. We're gonna present you guys with a list of stuff for us to play next. We're still talking about it. We're still making that list. But once we get a list of games that we might cover next, we will put that in front of you folks and let the community vote on it. And that's what we're going to do next week on my blog.
Which means we will not be streaming together next week. I will probably schedule something else for next Tuesday if that day is free. But we're not going to make a list and check it twice. I mean, we'll probably check it multiple times just to be sure. But it is no longer Christmas season. No more Christmas music. No more Christmas trees. Now we get to reach up again.
So, the list right now is E.T. for the Atari 2600.
Oh, yeah,
or
man.
Daikatana. I'm kidding.
Don't joke about that. I would actually be like, even if for just one stream, you know what? Let's check out this Daikatana game. Oh, there's a lovely story.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So, you want to, what it was like to work try out another horrifying Korean grind MMO? Oh, goodness.
They redid Black Desert Online. So I was actually seriously considering, Black Desert Online was sold to a totally new company who then revamped all the classes. And so I've been wanting to go back and see if it's worse, better, or the same.
So wait, because I don't know much about Black Desert Online. I know the developer is Pearl Abyss now. And the only thing
yeah.
Okay, because the only thing I know about Pearl Abyss now is they're working on 3 crazy looking games. One of them is Crimson Desert, which was going to be a sort of MMO-ish sequel-ish to Black Desert, but is now going to be a single player fantasy game, and it looks incredible.
Oh my.
It was at the Game Awards 2020, and when me and my buddy saw that trailer, we were like, oh man, this is looking great. This is looking amazing. This is great. And then they have Dokevi, which is a children's open world, crazy Splatoon themed Pokemon Breath of the Wild game in a South Korean city area, and it looks great. And then there's another game they haven't really talked about since that looks like a Neil Blomkamp sci-fi shooter kind of a deal. But no, Pearl Abyss evidently is hey, yeah, they do Black Desert Online, and I figured it was Black Desert money that was funding these games, but who knows? I don't know. I was always curious about Black Desert because it was more action-based, but I never got around to it. I never got to playing it.
I actually like the gameplay, and I'm only going to admit this because I know nobody else will find out. So it's safe for me to say this on Twitch, where it will stay a secret.
Until we bought it and put it on your website?
Right, but I like dressing up, cool characters. I like the playing with dolls.
Dude, are you not familiar with the Final Fantasy XIV fan base?
I am not. I am literally not.
Dude, one of the big appeals for people is dressing up your character and basically showing people your character, how you dressed them up, how you customize them and stuff. There's a whole basically fashion angle to Final Fantasy XIV online. Granted, I don't.
Maybe I should check that out.
I've been wanting to go back to it. I played a little bit of it on PS4, before they had the free trial, unfortunately. And the funny thing is someone that doesn't really play MMOs, the early part felt like playing a more relaxing version of Dragon Age Origins, though that might be just because I played Dragon Age Origins on console, and therefore the controls were similar, and you had cooldown abilities and stuff like that. So to me, there was more of a connection than maybe if you were to play it on PC. I don't know. But it was cool, it was relaxing, and then I couldn't connect with anybody to do the multiplayer stuff, and they were like, now do stuff with other people. And people kept telling me, it's this is the greatest community, everyone's nice, everyone's kind, you'll be no problem. And it's yeah, but getting onto voice chat with strangers is weird to me.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm introverted. This isn't my scene.
I have a bunch of friends that do play on PC. So once the servers calm down, I've been considering it. I've been considering jumping into Final Fantasy 14 on PC and just seeing if I can get to that level 60 and everything, because it is supposed to be the secret best Final Fantasy. And everyone, like, I think it was Skill Up also talked about it with Endwalker. That's like, dude, this is no joke, just a great story for not just the franchise, not just for MMOs, but for games, period. And it's just, yeah. But of course, now they had to stop selling it. They had to stop marketing it for a while because their servers just can't handle it, which is like kind of wonderful. And why even play if you're not dressing up your FF14 cat girl? I actually did play a cat boy, which was weird, but I don't like buff characters for some reason. If I'm playing a game, I'd like to play them like more lanky.
One of my favorite things to do in a game, especially if it's like Japanese or Korean, is to make the littlest character. I mean, like, make somebody that looks like a tiny little child, you know, and then get the biggest weapon in the game. Like, I want somebody.
What are they, the Lillykins or something like that? The race?
Whatever. But, you know, it's less fun when there's a character class dedicated to it. But if you can cheat your way into it and, like, do it even though they didn't intend for it, and you can deliberately break the game and your weapon clips through the walls and the floor because they didn't plan on anybody doing this, that's when I'm having fun.
Yeah. That is... like your character for Lord of the Rings Online, you mean?
Or... Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, okay. A little character.
Oh my goodness. I do remember also what I wanted to say earlier when I cut myself off. I was discussing the end of the game and not doing any of the side content. So to bring things all the way back to Batman Arkham Origins, which we just completed, the sign that we were actually at the end and sooner than I expected was when all the snipers were all over the rooftops, every single one of them. Because that was the big thing, my first playthrough. I was trying to finish up a bunch of the extra quests, because even if I don't do all the Riddler trophies, I like to try and get all the extra criminals and stuff like that. I try and do all the quests available. And when you're near the end of the game trying to get the last stuff and there's snipers everywhere, that really drove it home that I did. That's what caused me to not like this game. If you just burn through it, it's not that bad. It is a lesser Arkham experience, but it's not that bad.
Right, but the typical Metroidvania thing is the game world becomes more and more open, and a couple of the Batman games have the thing, the game gets more and more open, and then you get near the end game and suddenly everything's locked down and it's a chore to get anywhere. And it's like, well, I've been beating up dudes all night. How is there still anybody left to shoot at me?
Admittedly, even Nintendo had an issue with that, because as you know, like Metroid is my favorite Nintendo franchise. I love the Metroid games. They are phenomenal. They are fantastic. And yet Metroid Fusion, I remember, it does have a moment where if you get the very last power-up, you can't access a data room without locking yourself to the last stretch of the game, and therefore you can't get 100% item collection. So you need that last power-up, but then from there, you need to find all the shortcuts between the zones and never hit a data room. And if you don't do it right, there's one or two items you can miss because one of the items requires you to go through a data room. So you got to be very careful. You got to know the map. And I almost got 100% this past year after I beat Metroid Dread a few times. Because that's the thing, yeah. It's like you want the world to open up for you so you can at least get 100%, if not the world to open up more and more. And I think part of the issue with the Batman games is while they are very inspired by Metroidvania ideas, they're also very much open world games, and open world games seem to have this fear that the open world itself will become boring, even if part of the fun of the open world is traversal. Right. Like Spider-Man's a perfect example. traveling around the city in Spider-Man is never boring, and yet
Never.
then they just throw snipers all over the place.
Right. They're like worried, oh, you're not getting bored, are you? Here, let me try and kill you. And it's like, no, I'm having a good time. I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, I was having a good time, and then you showed up. But
wow, so these credits are still going on.
I have a tendency to watch game credits for a few reasons. I think one of them is just, I don't know, fear of missing out in case there's, oh, look, there's a cousin of yours, Sean Young.
Right.
Long lost Montreal cousin of yours. But no, I have a tendency to watch, and dude, they throw everybody into the credits. Like, if you watch film credits, they don't even have as many people in them usually. Like, most of it ends up being a special effects artist these days. But like, they do not have like the HR department. They don't have the web developer usually. Sometimes they do, but it's like, you have everyone and their mom in stinking video game credits. And
right.
It is a shame though, because then you have instances where like there are people that worked on Metroid Dread, to keep bringing that up over and over again. But there are people that worked on Metroid Dread that are not listed in the credits because they didn't work long enough on the project.
Oh.
And it's like a company policy, and it's like, that's not an unusual company policy. Is that a good or, well, I don't want to say good. Is that a bad company policy?
Right. Is the concern that, hey, there are a lot of people who come in and do a couple of days of work. We hire a contractor, they come in, they do 2 days. I can't imagine what you would do for 2 days, but some tiny job for 2 days. If we put all of those people in the credits, the credits would just be ridiculously long.
Yeah. Our chat has moved on to Warframe, evidently, because I've been in the same spot for the last year or two. Because this is where CDRX, I think, established it, where I've been FF curious, but haven't quite hit the activation energy to deal with people for it. Terminus Terminal responds, I remember this exactly. It was about Warframe as well. Made Up and For Me responds, oh, Warframe. I love that game and finally couldn't play anymore because people there were rude. Terminus Terminal says, Warframe has a design problem where they don't want you to just turn on a mode and forget it. They want you to micromanage it. It creates a sort of paradox where you don't need to think about playing, but you also kind of do in a way that is annoying. So it's the live service version of Animal Crossing? Yeah, but for me, it says it's a good streamer game, though. And I've never played Animal Crossing, so this is based on hearsay and watching other people play. But like, one of the big things was you need to check your clock. You need to make sure you're paying your bills to Tom Nook and all that stuff. And I imagine Warframe's a good streamer game. I think when it comes to the community, though, again, like for me, with Final Fantasy XIV, it was more just having something where if I'm going to get on voice chat, I want it to be with people I know. Going on voice chat, and maybe part of it's because like the last time I went on voice chat in public, quote unquote, regularly was back when Xbox Live first launched, and I was playing MechAssault online. And
oh yeah, that was bad.
Well, honestly, it wasn't as bad as it got later with Halo 2 and stuff like that. So it, like, I'm trying to remember. I think there were a couple of times because I played and I'm wondering if it's because I played a female character in Destiny, that there were a couple of times like people would just randomly mess with me and then send me a message. And I think one time I did get called a rather negative term for a woman. In fact, you hear it in Arkham City all the time. It made a lot of social media posts about how people referred to Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
The one frustrating thing about trying not to cuss is when you need to reference a cuss word, it's like, do I just say it or do I just not say it? Like, what do I do? So here's my roundabout trip for you to figure out a simple word. But no, that's like, I don't really have many bad experiences online because it's always in party chat on consoles for the most part, or with friends online. Like I played Aliens Fireteam Elite with my buddies Zach and Asuna. So yeah, I don't know. Like in the meantime, you have like people going online still and be like, "Yeah, man, the Overwatch community is toxic." It's like, you mean you actually talk to people when you play? Like,
Is it? Yeah, I was surprised to read in the chat here that Warframe is kind of toxic. I wouldn't know. I've never spoken to any of them. I played it as a single player game and just like did my own thing. Didn't even occur to me to like, interact with the community because they're a bunch of strangers.
It makes me
what do I have
wonder.
to say to strangers?
It makes you wonder if like 90% of the people playing a game never get on public chat.
Yeah.
8% that get on public chat are toxic, and 2% don't know any better yet. So
Right.
those are the ones that go in there, but oh my gosh, the community's awful. And it's like, meanwhile, 90% of the community is wonderful. They're just not on public voice chat.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that I wonder. But then again, isn't that exactly how
That's how
the
any
internet
unmoderated
is?
space. That's any unmoderated space will become exactly that. Unmoderated, a few people will behave horribly, and so all the sane people would be like, I'm not going to interact in this horrible space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you get.
You know what? Let's back up a little bit again and consider what the last fights in this game were. Because the closest to an actual final boss fight was the Bane fight. And yet you had a crappy fight with Gordon, and then a very easy fight with Joker. And while I appreciate not doing the typical final boss thing just because you feel compelled to, and finding other ways to deliver a cinematic kind of thing, Batman and Jim Gordon in fisticuffs together, when Jim Gordon is clearly out of his league compared to Batman, is not exactly that kind of like emotional fulfillment. Because he's just there distracting a guy while you're beating a bunch of thugs up or getting beat up. And then the Joker is also just very easy, and it's mostly a quick time event.
I was very disappointed by that. Like, at the end of this long night of the Joker running his mouth, your big finale is, oh, you get to beat on this crazy person. And I'm like, this sucks. What should have happened? Again, if they had stronger writers, the proper resolution to that particular conflict, the conflict between Joker and Batman was not physical. It was ideological. It was personal. And so Batman should have said something to shut Joker down.
Okay, real quick, we need like a drinking game just for these credits. We have Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Steve Bloom. I know I've seen Chris Cox elsewhere. Robin Atkin Downs, I know I've seen elsewhere. So Crispin Freeman.
Robin Atkin Downs. That's the medic in Team Fortress 2.
There you go. So we've got a minimum of 5. Wait, Robin Atkin. Wait, is he also Travis Touchdown? I gotta look that up. Maurice LaMarche is in here. So yeah, there's a lot of voices in here where it's like Matt Mercer, where it's like take a drink for every time you see someone you know.
Some people call
Nolan
this guy
North.
Maurice.
Liam O'Brien. I feel like I know a different Liam O'Brien that's not a voice actor, but CCH Pounder. I feel like that should be someone that you would recognize given the name. Gray Delisle, Crispin Freeman. Okay, yeah, made up it for me. He's recognizing some. Tara Strong, Roger Craig Smith. Oh my goodness. It's like, leave some room for newbies, guys. Actually, this was how many years ago? How many of them weren't as established? I mean, a bunch of them were, but how many weren't as established as well? But yes, to go back to made up
quite a lineup.
It is quite a lineup. Too bad it was spent on this game where it doesn't feel like that sort of all-star talent thing. But then you have like all-star talent in the Avengers game, and it's like, oh, this is a letdown too. In part because... sorry.
Just to finish my thought, at the end, instead of beating the Joker to a pulp like a goon, Batman should have said something to the Joker to shut him up. To like make the Joker realize that his joke's not funny, basically. I mean, that's a running thing. That's how the animated series was. It wasn't the end of every episode ends with Batman just mercilessly punching the crap out of the Joker. It was always a refutation of some assertion that the Joker was making. No, you're wrong. People aren't that evil. People aren't like you. Gotham isn't filled, we are not the same. You refute his idea in some way.
Yes, especially because
that is what should have happened.
And especially because that's specifically what Joker is trying to convince Batman of, kind of thing, depending on your interpretation. Because this is, again, very much Killing Joke, and I don't even think that's the direction they really went with the Dark Knight film. Because, I mean, there's definitely sort of a duality, but it's not like... That's the thing, in the Dark Knight, the Joker's not trying to convince Batman that they're one and the same. It's just like, for the Joker, it's like, you're too much fun. Like, that's what it is.
Right, he's having a good time. And, yeah, that was I am totally fine with the way they handled it in that movie. It was very different from the animated series, but it was good on its own merits. But this one was just self-referential and dead-ended in fisticuffs instead of dialogue.
This is one of those things where, this is an easy way to feel, or an easy way to just seem pretentious as saying something like this, but it makes me wonder if this was made by people that like Batman but don't get Batman. Now, granted, what does it mean to get Batman, considering he's been around for almost 100 years now? Like, when was he created?
He's late 30s, so he's almost just over 80 now.
Yeah, he's been around a really long time, under how many writers, different interpretations, but I do feel like even under Frank Miller, right? Even under Frank Miller, I feel like Batman was more about intelligence and less about brutality. Like, not considering Batman Returns, which is all, he's old, he's violent now or something. He's
trying to get himself killed.
Basically,
I mean, that's the character's arc. He's trying to find a good way to die.
And that's perfectly Frank Miller, Batman Year One, Batman is not like that. Like, it's still very Frank Miller in certain ways, but it's still like Batman's not there yet. He's not at that stage. So, yeah, this is one of those examples where it's like you like the Joker, but do you get the Joker? You like Batman, but do you actually get Batman? And it feels, or it's someone trying to put their own spin to get away from, like, it's like honestly, it's kind of like what Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel and that other stuff. It's not that I minded Man of Steel, or at least what they were trying to do with it. But the way they went about it is like, you guys don't seem to be doing it right. And it's funny because speaking even of Superman, a buddy of mine and I were talking and we were like, you know what? They need to make a Telltale Superman game, or at least Telltale style, because the decisions of Superman are what would be more interesting.
Right, because what's the gameplay? I'll just okay, somebody's trying to rob a bank. Yeah, I instantly beat them all up, tie them up. Do I need to have gameplay for that? Because that's still going to be stupid easy.
Like, basically, there's only so many villains that could stand toe to toe with them at full power. So unless you do,
can you imagine the tutorial prompts? The bad guys are shooting at you, but it doesn't matter. They literally have no way to harm you.
Yeah,
the game doesn't even bother with the health bar.
And I mean, unless you have someone really good that focuses more on make sure you like prioritizing the civilians, so you know which ones you have time to get. See, but that's kind of sick in its own right. Like, how many civilians can you save before they die? So it's like, you saved 7 out of 10. You get a B grade for this round, and it's like that's kind of screwed up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a little dark. Like the proper way to do it was you save everybody or you fail, but that would be a really terrible game. That would be not fun.
It would not
have to be a puzzle game.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're Superman, so it's like, how much of it takes place in bullet time so you can make the decisions or something? I mean, like, it's a real challenge. It's like Superman game jam. There you go. I want someone to do a Superman game jam. See if you get like what kind of ideas you get out of it. But No, that's the thing. Like, do a Telltale-style, narrative-driven Superman game where you have to make decisions. Because especially if you get in his head as Clark Kent, I think that would be interesting. Yeah. Congratulations, new game plus unlocked. Take on the story mode again, but this time armed with all the upgrades. However, you're going to need them. This is much harder.
I really do appreciate that. I appreciate that because this is a great way to let you do, like, how most people want to play a game is like do the main story because that's where the story. I want to see how it turns out. But then it's like I had a good time and I want to keep playing. I want to do the side quests. I really love how the Batman games handle New Game Plus, where you're still working on the same group of collectibles, like it carries over.
Yeah, actually, that's not. I mean, I'm always a fan of New Game Plus in any game, like role playing games. Like if there is a progress you can roll over, then that's a great thing to do. It's one of the reasons thinking Resident Evil Village and 4 did it really well, in that they had like different challenges and stuff you could go for. You could upgrade your weapons over time, and you're never going to really max out all the weapons until you've played multiple times over, and it really helps add to the game, makes it more enjoyable, and even though you're technically more empowered, it can still be challenging. So yeah, if you could do New Game Plus well for the kind of game you're making, then there you go. Now, because this is a New Game Plus where it's also already harder, like, you mean there's snipers already on all the rooftops from the very beginning?
No, it just turns off the combo, the counter, that thing that flashes over their head.
That stuff. Okay.
I just want to say, I really appreciate everybody who stuck around and chat while we turned this Twitch stream into a podcast.
I know.
You guys are great.
You guys are great. Thank you very much. And thank you for dropping in Ton Pope with the Bard to say, do it based on the All-Star Superman storyline for the Superman game. I've heard that storyline quoted often. I think a friend told me to grab that as a trade. I'm not sure if it's that one or another one, because there was one I talked to him about where I really wanted to see a story of Clark Kent, just moving to Metropolis, in his early years as a rookie reporter, and where he's got, what is he, a Kentucky boy, or is he Kansas? Kansas. So, Kansas, rural values kind of a thing, and goes into the city, and now it's the big city values, and where it's like who he is like his background clashes with who he is now, stuff like that, like how that kind of, like what that would be. And evidently a storyline like that already exists, and it's actually pretty good. Because I just find that, like, that idea really interesting when you're the rural guy going into a city and all of a sudden there's all kinds of stuff that goes against what you were brought up for, or you feel this way about this or that. And again, it's like the more human side, right? And again, if you do a Telltale style game, you can actually explore some of that, only with a player in charge. So that would be interesting. So, all right, we got alternate Batman outfits, and it's like 40 minutes later, there's a post-credits scene with Deathstroke
and Amanda Waller.
Back then, they were teasing a Suicide Squad game.
Right.
And what happens if I don't say?
Oh, yeah, we're finally getting that 10 years later.
10 years later, and you know what? Firstly, you don't play as Deathstroke.
Right? Deathstroke's not there.
Oh, and they start you at the top of the...
Night, Alfred. Why don't you turn in?
Wouldn't dream of it.
You turn in, Alfred. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do these stupid Riddler trophies. And the bridge is wrecked. The bridge is totally wrecked.
Yeah, nice work, Batman.
It wasn't my fault. It was Firefly. It was Firefly. He did it. He burned it to the ground.
Yeah. So
that is basically it. We got done Arkham Origins, and again, this was, as you said, we are going to have had to get one last chug for the bridge drinking game, I guess.
Right?
If any vague ideas on what kind of game you want to play next, we got a couple. As I said, we're still deciding. Once we've got a few ideas, we are going to put a poll up on Shamus's blog So that'll be next Tuesday. That'll probably go up, and well, we'll see. We have thoughts, but we also want to make sure that people are able to just get a little bit of decision to what they get to watch, what they get to see. But we're both also very much considering each other's taste, kind of a thing. So we're making sure that, oh, I might want to do this, but then, is that Shamus's bag, or is he just going to be miserable if he tries to play that? And
one of the things we're deciding is, do we want to go with Chris playing and me watching, or do we want to play co-op? That's the other decision we're making.
Yeah. So either way, that will be decided by you guys over the next week. We're not going, as I said, we're not going to stream next Tuesday, but that means whatever's decided in the poll will probably just play the following Tuesday. So what is today? The 4th? So the 18th then? The Tuesday the 18th?
Yep.
Tuesday the 18th would be the new game we'd start streaming. But this was, honestly, this was something we were trying to get System Shock 2 co-op mod. Oh my goodness, I don't think I could do that.
I played System Shock 2 co-op with a friend back in 2000. It was janky as hell even back then.
Oh gosh. And I've tried System Shock 2 and I can't do the controls, man. It's the button mapping, the keyboard mapping. Everything's got a button.
It's just, you got to think of it like a flight simulator, only a little more complicated.
This was the thing I was on a long time ago, and because I've always been more of a console gamer, and even now even for first-person shooters, I still use the controller. And it's like, this is the good thing about the controller, because when you had a whole keyboard, you wanted every key to do something, and it didn't need to.
Right.
But no, this was, I mean, we were trying to get this started since last summer, actually. We had, firstly, I was doing a lot of games on stream already. I wanted to make sure I gave Shamus time, and he had his health that he had to deal with, and then I had
that thing where I nearly died.
Yeah.
that was an exciting summer.
I had to fight things like COVID and stuff like that, my own illnesses and other issues. So I was glad we were able to get it started by December. So we were able to do this in time for Christmas, because this is one of the few Christmas games, right? That's probably why, I'm looking at the Steam page and it's people are still making, sharing screenshots of this game. Why? Oh, it's because it's probably a great Christmas game, and they probably actually like it a lot more than we do. So, to be fair, but no, this was a lot of fun. It was something I was wondering if it would work well or not, and I think this has actually been one of the best series I've ever done on stream. So, Shamus, I'm definitely glad that you agreed to join me to do this.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Chris, because I'm having a ton of fun doing this.
So,
yeah, let's keep it going.
So maybe we should be careful which co-op games we choose, because next thing you know, we'll be at each other's throats. It'll be like Monopoly. So...
You're going to make me carry you through Halo Infinite.
Oh, whenever that gets co-op. No, but this was great, and Mario Kart ends friendships. Oh, that's not true. Or that. Me and my friends have done Mario Kart and Mario Party played. Well, you know what? You're not wrong either. You are neither correct nor wrong. And Smash Brothers too, if you're playing with someone that's good enough. But okay, I think I finally exhausted myself of words and verbiage and verbosity. How about you?
I'm done.
We're done.
I'm hungry, and I need to go do something else.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Children of Morta is not on my list, but maybe I'll look at it. But we'll figure it out. Again, we got a list. We're gonna put stuff up, and we'll see. We'll see what we figure out. So keep an eye out for that on Shamus's blog next week. And until then, I am doing a stream of a game called Smelter tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then hopefully, even if it's just myself, there will be an A Steve podcast 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. But until then, guys, thank you for joining and have a good night.